Hi, I'm Kate from the Small Things blog. Today I'm going to do my February frequently asked question video. I grabbed these questions from the Facebook fan page, which you can find if you search the Small Things blog in Facebook, and I grabbed the ones that I thought would be most beneficial to a large variety of people. So let's go ahead and get started. The first question is, how can I prevent my hair from creasing when I use a curling iron? So if you haven't ever had this problem, that's good. But what this person is asking is basically a curling iron with a clamp. When you put the iron in and then clamp it down and then begin spinning it, sometimes certain types of hair will have a little crease where you've clamped it down. So the best way that I found to avoid that happening is once you put the curling iron in, before you close the clamp, go ahead and give it a turn and then clamp it. So in case there's a crease, it'll be towards the back of the hair and maybe be sort of on the underneath section. And I've also found that sort of twisting it begins that curl, and then the clamp just helps hold it in place. The second question is about using bobby pins, and this person wanted to know when she would put bobby pins in, sometimes she would get a kickback from them. So my guess is she was probably grabbing too much hair. So basically putting the pin in and then it's sliding right back out. And the main thing that causes that, there are two problems here. The first one that you can easily change is you are probably putting way too much hair in the bobby pin. So do a section about half the size of what you've been doing. And then the second thing you can do is to get a different bobby pin. So a lot of the super cheap bobby pins that you can pick up at most drugstores or Target are really slippery, coated in plastic or some material to make them slip right out. So the nice thing about that is it never grabs your hair, so you won't snag any hair, but the bad thing is it never grabs your hair. So it's sort of ineffective unless you're always using the bobby pin, putting it against your hair to kind of lock it in place. So I would recommend investing in some high quality pins. My favorite that I've been using for a couple of years now are called Diane brand. They're professional, so you won't be able to find them at any drugstore, Target, basically any store unless you're a licensed stylist. So talk to your salon or your stylist and see if they'll sell you some. If not, I'm sure you can find them online. I would just Google Diane brand bobby pins, and they make them in bronze and black. So a good quality bobby pin doesn't have quite the slippery finish, so you'll have a little bit of a better hold. The third question is about having your hair thinned out. So if you've got thick hair, coarse hair, any sort of texture that would benefit from thinning, my thoughts on thinning are, for the most part, good. So thinning, if you've never had it done before, usually involves a particular shear that's got a bunch of cuts out of it. So when you're cutting, you're not cutting a section of hair, you're closing the shears, but then only taking out hair in the notches that are there. So it's kind of hard to explain. If you want to see what that shear looks like, I would just Google thinning shears. Anyway, so I like using them to blend layering for choppy, blunt textures. I use it on clients just with massive amounts of hair that don't want to deal with it and make it a little bit more manageable. I focus most of my thinning on the underneath sections of the hair. So if you've had your hair thinned out before and then left and styled it the next day and you had all of this frizz and these little tiny baby hairs sticking up everywhere, probably it was thinned too close to the top sections of your hair for your texture. That's kind of why I aim towards staying around the lower part, because essentially what you're doing is cutting little tiny hairs into your haircut, but they should be relatively invisible. So I think it's good when done correctly. I've seen a lot of hair thinning gone wrong, so talk to your stylist in depth about that if that's something you're interested in, and maybe tell them you're apprehensive about it, so just to do a little bit the first time around and see what you think of it. For the fourth question, someone asked if it was necessary to have matching shampoo and conditioner. So I'm going to take this to mean the same brand. I don't think it's necessary by any means. Surely there's an intention of those products being sold together. They have similar components. They might both be smoothing shampoo and conditioner, or they might both be for color treated hair or volumizing. There's nothing wrong with using a matching duo, like two Redken products that go together. But I also, again, don't think it's a bad thing to mix and match. I would stay in the same type of shampoo and conditioner category. So if you're looking for volume, buy a volumizing shampoo and a volumizing conditioner. Or if you need a lot of nourishment and moisture to your hair, but you also want volume, maybe try using a volumizing shampoo and then a really deep conditioner, not a deep conditioner, but a really good conditioner for your conditioner. So that way you're getting the perks of the volumizing shampoo and then the intense moisture from a conditioning shampoo. But just note, it probably won't be as volumized as if you were to use a volumizing conditioner. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as you're using the type of products that are good for your hair and what your hair needs. The last question is, do you cut your own hair and can you show a tutorial? I do cut my own hair. I had a terrible, terrible haircut. It was so bad many years ago. I was a stylist and I knew what she was doing, and so I feel for the clients that are sitting in the chair and thinking, oh my gosh, what is she doing? Because I've experienced that even being a professional. I don't know what happened, but she thinned my hair out so much I felt like I left with sparse hair that could do nothing. I don't know what she was thinking, but I felt bald when I left. I wasn't, but I felt bald. So ever since that cut, it really made me nervous to have my hair cut by somebody else, because I don't know if you've noticed at all, but like I kind of really care about my hair. It's sort of part of my job. So I have been cutting my own hair. I started cutting my own hair after that balding haircut because all I wanted to do was cut the bottom length off so all of the layering and thinning could grow out and help bulk it back up again. So that's how it all started. And then I thought, this is kind of working and I can give myself a trim whenever I need one. So yes, I do cut my own hair, mostly because I had a traumatic experience. I know a lot of stylists that I would trust to cut my hair tomorrow, but it's just been working for me to do it myself, and whenever I need a trim, I do it. So instead of setting up an appointment, I just trim it myself. Can I show a tutorial? I'm gonna have to say no, and the reason is because I would hate for someone to be inspired by my haircutting video to cut their own hair, because you really, really, really have to know what you're doing to cut your own hair. And my haircut is not pristine by any means because I'm doing it myself. So if I wanted a super clean, crisp edged haircut, it would not be wise for me to do it myself. But anyway, what I'm getting at is I'm not going to show a tutorial only because I don't want any of you guys to be cutting your own hair, because it would be so much better to have someone else do it for you. So sorry, I wish I could show you, because how great would it be for us all to cut our own hair exactly how we want to. The only problem is you don't know how to cut it to get it to what you want it to look like. So stick with your stylist. If you're not happy with your stylist, I'd recommend finding someone new. So that's all the questions I have for today. If you want to participate by asking a question for my next Frequently Asked Questions video, be sure to become a fan on Facebook, and then you can just leave your question in the comments when I put out the call for questions. Thanks for watching.